But yeah, 30 seconds left, and Wrexham, who looked so bright in the first half, are digging in to get a point here. Fletcher's created a loose ball though. Elliot Lee, freshly on, works it wide. McLean, the way this second half has developed, wouldn't mind if Wrexham just keep the ball here and come away with the point. Although that's a nice pass by Lee. Dobson with a bit of space up to the edge of the area. Held up cutely by Fletcher with a little reverse pass. Longman stands it in. Free header. It's in! Wrexham win it with 6 seconds left. Marriott plants the header on target. Great delivery by Longman. It took a deflection as a defender. Tried to keep it in. Keep it out. But he couldn't do it. Wrexham strike right at the very end. Remarkable. And wow, that's
insane. Insane. It's Elliot Lee that manages to head it at the back post. And it's Fletcher's run. He takes a touch, flicks it out, one pass into Longman, and I think Longman could take a touch, but he doesn't. He just flicks it to the back post, and Elliot Lee is in acres of space, just has to head it down. One of the Crawley defenders trying to get back on the line, but don't manage it, can't hook it out, and it goes into the net. Well, they've pulled it out again, haven't they?
Absolute limbs in that away end. Elliot Lee, well done, but Brian Longman, for me, a lot of the credit has to go to you. Great ball into the box. Elliot Lee found himself in all sorts of space. Crawley will be so disappointed. Such a sickener for them after playing so well in their second half. But Wrexham, that's what teams do at the top of that table. You grind out these results. Brilliant.
Oh wow, what a great pick by Longman.
Well, he's put 2 brilliant crosses in, hasn't he? Down that right hand side, on the move as well. Normally you just get a touch and then put it out.
And there is the final whistle. Goodness me, a huge win for Wrexham. We looked so bright early on, the 2 debutants up front, as McLean again gets abuse. But yeah, despite that early start, that brilliant start with Matty James scoring in just about the second minute, well, the start of the second minute, and then Wrexham carving out chances. Rodriguez on his debut nearly got a goal. Good save by Cox. But as the half wore on, Crawley's possession play started to push Wrexham backwards. It didn't really work, Howard, in the first half. Just a long-range shot by Ibrahim. Mind you, that was a precursor to what was to come, which I think may have been going wide. Good hands by Mark Howard to hold on to it. For the second half, Wrexham really didn't get going. Crawley moved the ball around well. I've got to be honest, I thought we were going to get a 1-0 for the simple reason that despite the quality of their play, Crawley weren't really creating chances. But having said that, they scored in the 89th minute. Ibrahim with a sensational strike as the ball dropped off his chest into the top right corner from 25 yards out. A brilliant goal, and it looked to have earned Crawley a deserved point, but in the 94th minute, great delivery from Longman after a cute little no-look pass by Fletcher. And there was Elliot Lee, just fresh off the bench with a powerful header, and Wrexham got the win.
Yeah, and it came from the move in that second half for the first time. We actually get our heads down, just get on that ball, take a few extra touches when we need to. Absolute patience. Don't rush things, don't need to force it. And look what happens. It's brilliant, superb, and do we really deserve 3 points out of that game? I'm not too sure. But like I said, that's what teams at the top of the table do in these sorts of scenarios. That's what you've got. That's how you respond. And I think Phil Barkinson will be delighted with that reaction.
Yeah, well, I think the goal, like Mia says, is the first time we've made more than 2 passes in the half. It's McLean goes into Lee round the corner. Lee is able to just keep it into Dobson. Dobson, it goes into Fletcher. Fletcher comes out to Clearth, who just rolls it into Longman's path, and it's a great cross, and Lee from his original position just gets in the box and goes and heads it in. And they had a decent chance before that with Fletcher at the back post as well. But I really don't think that Wrexham in the second half were really at it again, and for some reason we just sit off and just wait, especially when we get 1-0 up. We just wait to just let them come on to us, and for me, get on the front foot. You've got to go at them, even at 1-0, get about them and make it uncomfortable for them to play and play your football, and we just didn't play in that second half. But somehow this team finds a way.
Yeah, and listen, I think you've got to give credit to us in some ways. I don't think Crawley had too many massive opportunities, and obviously the goal they've had, it's a screamer. I mean, you don't score many of them, out of 10. But we stay in that. They stay in that game, and they make it really difficult for us. But like you say, Andy, I think we've got to be so careful going forward. And if that's our sort of game plan in trying to hold on to these 1-0s, because it puts us under so much pressure in the last few minutes, and we don't look comfy with that pressure at all. It has to be said. But wow, what an end!
Yeah, what an end. Hells bells, what a moment that was in front of an impressive travelling army for Wrexham. Barnett caused lots of problems down the right hand side, of course, and yeah, you just feel keep doing that, keep plumbing that, keep working a bit. Instead Swan was allowed to push him back, and Barnett did some good defensive work too, to be fair, but nonetheless, yeah, we pushed our luck a little bit in the way we tried to cling on to that, but luckily found it in the end. Good debuts for the Blue Strikers, look lively.
Yeah, absolutely. And Longman coming on as well. A couple of really good crosses in the box. But yeah, Sam Smith looks mobile, good, strong, good in the air, but also good with his feet as well. Looks to bring people into play. And they're similar with Rodriguez as well. And so yes, I think the front two, they've got goals in them. They've had chances, both had a chance, haven't they, in the game, which they'll be pleased with. Maybe not to score, but I think the Rodriguez one would be disappointing not to score. But yes, I think getting in that changing room with a minute to go at 1-1, I think the whole group will be delighted just to get something out of it.
It's massive, isn't it? And I think we've got 2 weeks off now till next league game.
Yeah.
You didn't want those 2 weeks to be looking back at this game in the last few, where you're thinking, oh, we've really struggled to pick up points. To get the 3 today, it's massive. I know we've obviously got Port Vale. I imagine it'll be a pretty strong squad, to be honest, given the amount that they were given a rest tonight.
Players we've got.
Well, yeah, so that should be a real good game. But to go into those 2 weeks now with coming off the back of that 3 points, it's massive. For that mentality.
And listen, let's give huge credit to Phil Parkinson first and foremost, because he has thrown that grenade in the changing rooms and blown it up and said, right, if you're with me, you're with me. Some things need to change here. And they've certainly backed him, and fair play to Elliot Lee as well, coming out of the team from being in it, playing out position really up front. The experiment hasn't really worked in many of the games that he's played there, but to go back on with the attitude that he had, to get on the ball and then to go and score the winner, it tells you a lot about the changing room and a lot about him.
Absolutely, it's a huge win. Wrexham back to winning ways, and that Elliot Lee goal, massive in so many ways. Big bounce back from Tuesday, even though we ruled our luck. But wow, what a result for Wrexham. With the final score of Crawley Town 1, Wrexham 2, we've been Mark Griffiths, Mia Roberts and Andy Morrell from Wrexham AFC.